Hi, hello and welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Brenda and as you can tell we are in Vienna today, and you probably can't tell by the background, but anyway, we are in Vienna and I thought I'd take you with me on our little weekend trip and just share with you maybe when I see something exciting such as yarn, or maybe some exciting food we're about to eat, or I don't know, just cool locations. So yeah, have fun. It is Sunday and we are going to visit some museums today. There's just not much else to do actually, so right now we're gonna get breakfast and this is what I'm wearing. It's a pretty flowy, simple black dress and it has pockets, which is amazing. So yeah, gonna be really hot today, so we'll see how that goes. Hi, hello. We are back from Vienna, as you can probably tell. I just thought I'd sit down and chat a bit with you about the past few days and just our time in Vienna, what we did, what yarn stores we visited, and especially what I got, obviously. Let's just start with talking a bit about the yarn stores and just maybe share my thoughts on them and what went through my mind when I visited them. And I'm gonna start with the one I didn't actually get anything at, which is Wollen Wien. That was the first yarn store we went to. I actually don't have any footage of the store itself, just from outside, and that's only because we had dinner right next to the store. There's a restaurant. Again, didn't get anything at that store. So the store itself is pretty small. It's not, that's not a bad thing. I do actually prefer smaller yarn stores compared to like bigger ones, because you just get a good overview. I didn't spend like a lot of time at that store just because they didn't have what I was particularly interested in, but I, still wanted to check them out and give it a try. The one thing I realized was that they were selling a lot of their own yarn, so really yarn that was not of any known brand. It was of the brand Wollen Bean, so of the store, so like the store's own brand. But they weren't like hand-dyed or anything. They were, I know I saw some cotton yarn, some bamboo yarn, which looked all interesting, and some wool, of course, but I was looking at more like summer yarns right now, so you'll see what I got later, but they just had, as I said, a lot of their own brand, which I don't know, it's just I just find it a bit difficult to like give that one a try when I just haven't heard anything of their brand before, and I was a bit skeptical just because I was looking for like knitting for Olive, Sandnes Garn and so on. And what I also realized was that the prices were a bit higher, even though it was their own brand. So I was like, it just doesn't add up for me personally. I need to hear some good reviews about it, and then I might try it myself, but it just wasn't what I was specifically looking for. So that was totally okay. I didn't find anything there that piqued my interest, so I decided to just try another yarn store. And that's why we went next to Laniato, which is a mix of like a yarn store, a cafe, and also I guess gardening supplies. So you could also buy plants there, which I guess is a cool concept. We didn't have a coffee there, so I can't really tell you anything on that, but their yarn selection was incredible. It was first of all, a really beautiful store. It was pretty large, but as I said, the store itself was like split in this gardening section and the yarn section, and then outside you had some spots to sit and like drink a coffee. Yeah, it was a pretty busy store. Like the first store I talked about, I was the only customer in there, me and my fiance, and the second store, so Laniato, it was pretty well visited. They were selling quite a bit of Pasquali, which love that. One yarn specifically caught my attention so much, but I didn't get it, but I do have a video of it, which is Pinta by Pasquali. It was displayed on this really nice wall, like the hangs were all over the wall, and it just looked so beautiful. Like it was just so silky, shiny, like every single color on that wall was so beautiful. And even if I wanted to get that yarn, I probably couldn't have decided on a color. That would have been really hard. But I didn't get any of that because I was looking specifically for like a silk or linen yarn, and that one is just not what I was looking for. But I definitely want to try it sometime soon. So yeah, I just really have to think about what I would make with it, because it's a really nice yarn from what I've seen and also from what I've heard from like friends and stuff. They were also selling a bit of Sandnes Garn, knitting for Olive, Cardiff cashmere. They also had a bit of Ito yarn, and also some yarns I didn't know of, which was interesting. I think it was some type of Japanese, or I don't know if I'm wrong. I just feel like their selection was really nice. You had a bit of everything. So you had some Nordic stuff, you had some Japanese stuff with Ito, you had some German yarn with Pasquali. It was just a really nice selection. Yeah, what I got at that store, let me show you. So I am a big fan of knitting for Olive. I have already ordered from their website a couple times, and I just don't have a yarn store near me that sells knitting for Olive. So it's just a bit hard for me to find it. I'm not the biggest fan of ordering yarn online. I just want to go to the yarn stores and feel the yarn and see the colors in real life, and you know, I think you get what I'm saying. Getting to the point, I got Knitting for Olive Pure Silk because it's a yarn I wanted to try for the longest time. And I got 5 balls of this beautiful olive. Is it olive? It's actually called Olive the color. What I can tell you is I definitely went a bit out of my comfort zone with those colors I picked. But I'm really excited about them. I actually asked my fiance for help. I was like, what do you think? What should I get? So here we are. So this is 100% barrette silk, and this has 250 meters per 50 grams. So get a lot of yardage per 50 grams, worked on 3mm needles. I still have to think about what I'm gonna make with this. I have no idea. I was thinking about maybe just a long sleeve because I did get, as I said, 5 balls. Still have to decide on that. but I really like the color. I think it will suit me quite nicely, I hope. I also know the Ophelia blouse by Star-Crossed Knits is worked in this yarn, so I might also think about that, but then I'll have a lot of leftover and I don't know what to do with it, so I just have to sort my thoughts and really think it through. But right now, those are my thoughts on this yarn. So the other yarn I got at the store is Tin Line, which is by Sandnes Garn. I've been heavily influenced by two of my friends with this yarn choice. They are both currently knitting it up, and I just completely fell in love with it, just with the touch and the composition. Let me tell you, it's 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. In my opinion, it does not feel like cotton. It's just a really nice yarn and it's really soft, and I also love this color. It's a super interesting shade of blue, like a denim blue. I'm really bad at describing colors. For me, that's a denim, like a denim blue. I might be totally wrong. Anyway, this is worked on 3mm needles, and I got 4 balls of this. And let me tell you the yardage as well. It's 220 meters per 50 grams, so it's a bit less than the pure silk. I have no idea what to make with this. It's probably not going to be enough yarn for a long sleeve shirt, so we might do maybe a t-shirt or like a top. I have to think about it as well. I have no idea what I'm going to make with any of the yarn I got. So there's that. Oh wow, it's pouring outside. I'm sorry if it got a little bit dark in here. It's just super rainy outside today. So yeah, I'm really happy with the 2 yarns I got. I'm really looking forward to working on some summer projects, and I'll keep you definitely updated on what I'm gonna make with these. The last yarn store we went to is called Lanuette, and let me tell you, I've had the greatest experience of my life at that yarn store. I walked inside, I basically said, oh, I'd just like to look around, if that's okay. I'm not looking for anything specifically. And the store owner said, sure, that's fine. But I have another room in the back of the store if you'd like to see that as well. I was like, of course. So I followed her, and she brought me into this room that was full of cones. I think I audibly gasped when I walked in there. I've never been to a yarn store that sells cones of yarn, and I just thought that was really cool because I've heard great things about cones. So, I was really happy to see that. And let me tell you, I've had the greatest experience of my life at that yarn store. The owner was so friendly. She just told me like so many crazy things about that yarn. It was incredible. If you ever visit Vienna, please do yourself a favor and just go to that yarn store. So she started explaining to me that wall of cones, like what is which, the compositions, the possibilities of what you could like make. She showed me her projects, her sweaters. She showed me one of the most beautiful sweaters I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna try to find a picture and insert it here. And yeah, I was just so overwhelmed by all of that yarn and all of that information. And I'll just get straight to the point of what I got. It is this beautiful, I really hope it's picking up on camera. It's probably not, but in real life, let me just tell you, it's so beautiful. I actually got 3 of them. Is this 100% mulberry silk. And I fell in love with this the second I saw it. Just look at it. It's so beautiful and shiny and silky, and like that's what you would imagine when thinking of silk. Because the other one by Knitting for Olive is Borette silk, so it's a bit of a different, I'm not sure if it's a different type of silk, but it's definitely just produced differently. I don't want to say anything wrong here, okay? I'm not going to try to explain to you what that is, but I just loved how shiny this was, and she told me that it's silk, and I was like, okay, yes, I want it. So I explained to her I want to like knit a pretty simple long sleeve shirt. I'm thinking something like the blouse number 1, I believe, in that direction maybe. And I'm gonna like I would like to use at least a 3.5mm needle, maybe even 4 if that's possible. And she explained to me that's definitely possible. I just need to use like 6 strands of this together, and I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I have no idea how this is gonna be enough yarn, but I trust that woman. If it's not gonna be enough, she told me she would send it to me, which is really nice. Color is a really interesting, to me, it's like a really, really deep brown. My fiance thought it's black or like gray. To me, it definitely has like a slight hint of like red or purple, like really only the slightest tint. One last thing I need to tell you, I paid 13 euros for this silk yarn. Yes, 13. I was shocked at how low the price was. It's honestly such a great deal, and I will keep you updated on like how it's knitting up, what I'm gonna make with it. I'll definitely keep you updated, and I cannot wait to start knitting with this. I cannot wait to use any of that yarn. And I'm gonna stop filming right now because I need to test this yarn, you know. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and check out my Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.